as we continue to trade December week 5 and end the year 2021. Starting off with a look at ES. This is a 5-minute chart of ES. You can see here was this rally late in the day today in session to the new all-time high. And then as of tonight as the recording of this video, around 20 minutes after 10 Eastern p.m., you can see that we are a good solid 10 points off of that session high so far tonight. Haven't challenged it or taken it out, just kind of consolidating and pulling back off of that high. We're at 47.74. If we add 10 points to that for the S&P 500 equivalent, maybe we'd be at about 47.85. So right now we're kind of challenging those 40s, those equivalent of 47.80s on the S&P 500 if we were open right now and trading the S&P. Let's take a look at the intraday chart of S&P. Over here, this is where we ended last week. Coming into the holiday, we traded up for a look below what was the all-time high at that point, made a lower high against it and sold off into the close, but that close, even though it was a little bit of a clip down into the close as we ended last week, it was still a new weekly all-time closing high and daily all-time closing high. So therefore, we came in today starting a new week with a big gap up open at 47.34 or so, and we began to trade through the 80 handle rule. Once we took out the all-time high, we moved towards 47.50. We resolved the all-time high with ES. ES had an outstanding all-time high that it made in an overnight session. I think it was on December 16th. So we finally, resolved that whole situation, consolidated at 47.50, and once we did that, we started moving through our 80 handle rule levels. We moved on to 47.60 to 65, consolidated here, and then moved on to 47.80. At 47.80, we consolidated. We tried to make a move up. That kind of failed. We came back. We looked below it. But then in that final 30 minutes of the day, we made it back above 47.80 and rallied on to an all-time high, 47.91, and closed at our new all-time closing high, just off of their 91.19. So I look at this as sort of a look below 4,800 and fail for now. But all that means is that maybe we're going to consolidate a little. We're going to test 47.80. If 47.80 doesn't hold us together, then we're going to come back down here and test this 47.60 to 65 area. And if all that doesn't hold, we want to test 47.50. Maybe not all the way to 47.50 flat. Maybe we look above it, 47.55, 53, whatever it takes. But as long as this 47.50 level holds support, we're going to turn around and we're going to continue back up and we're going to go after 4,800. When we take a look at the roadmap, you can see that we have made quite a huge move here since the low last week at 45.31.10, and now here we are about 260 points above that with the high that we made today, just in 1 week, and not even, and even just 4 trading days, just the 5th trading day later. Here we are. So this is a good spot for us to pull back, consolidate, and maybe digest inside this huge range that we made on the day. And as long as that 47.50 level holds, I think we're going to get a chance to buy for the next leg of the rally. We'll also be holding above this high that we set last week, and we'd be holding above the previous all-time high that we just took out today. If we can hold above 47.50, we kind of pull off all of that stuff as well. When we look at our fork chart, you can see that as of today, we've got 2 consecutive closes outside of the bear fork. So this means that we have broken out of this thing, and we are working our way ultimately towards the top of the bull fork. The closest we've come to the top of this bull fork was in this all-time high that we made early in the month of November. The second all-time high that we made didn't get quite as close to the top of the fork as this earlier one did. So if we were to get all the way here this time around and actually come up here and tag the top of this fork, it's going to take us to at least 48.76 starting tomorrow. And as you can see, here's the the end of the week. Here's where the year ends. You can see we'd probably be around the 48.90s or so. So if we get through 4,800, and taking into account that maybe we have some rally that continues, in the first couple of days of next week. Once we get through 4,800, we start the whole game again. We try to work our way towards 4,850. Maybe we make it to 4,835 or so, and we pull back and we come in the week after New Year's and push our way to 4,850, just like we did 4,750 today, the last week of December, the start of the last week of December. And then you can see from there if we can make it through 4,850, 4,860, 4,880 to 4,900. Okay, so that's what would get us to the finish line up here. And I think if we get up here to the top of this bull fork, maybe that's where things are going to exhaust, and maybe we will see some more serious profit taking once we get through the first couple of trading days of January, when people start to take some money off the table because they're not going to have to worry about paying taxes on that money. And maybe taking some off ahead of the start of earnings in January as well. Okay, so some food for thought there, but it all starts with a simple hold above the 47.50 mark. If we fall below 47.50, then we've put in our 2021 high, and maybe we're just going to pull back a little bit more deeply, and maybe we're going to come back and rally to end the week, but maybe we have seen our high for 2021 with a look below 4,800 and pull back. All right, those are my thoughts there. I hope this video helped you out and gave you a good idea of where we're at. As always, good luck and good trading.